Two missiles, two philosophies, two nations. One question: which is the most formidable cruise missile ever built? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into one of the most exciting matchups in modern military technology: the BrahMos, India and Russia's joint supersonic beast, versus the Tomahawk, America's legendary long-range precision weapon. We'll break down their origins, specs, capabilities, combat records, and ultimately, which missile reigns supreme. Stay with us. This one gets technical and it gets good. Origin stories. First, let's talk about where these weapons come from, because their origins tell us everything about their design goals. The BrahMos. The BrahMos is a joint venture between India's Defense Research and Development Organization, DRDO, and Russia's NPO Mashinostroyenia. The name itself is a fusion. Brah from the Brahmaputra River, Mos from the Moskva River. Development began in 1998, and the missile entered service with the Indian military in 2006. BrahMos was built with one purpose: speed. India and Russia wanted a missile that would be so fast, enemy defenses simply couldn't react in time. The Tomahawk. The Tomahawk has a much longer legacy. Developed by General Dynamics, now produced by Raytheon, it entered service with the U.S. Navy back in 1983. That's over 4 decades of continuous service and evolution. It's been launched from submarines, surface ships, and ground platforms. Where BrahMos was built for speed, the Tomahawk was built for range and precision. The philosophy: fly low, fly far. Hit exactly what you're aiming at. Technical specifications. Now let's get into the numbers. This is where things get really interesting. Speed. The BrahMos travels at Mach 2.8 to 3.0, roughly 3,700 kilometers per hour. That's nearly 3 times the speed of sound. A newer variant, the BrahMos 2, is being developed to reach Mach 7 or higher, hypersonic territory. The Tomahawk? It cruises at around 880 kilometers per hour, subsonic, roughly Mach 0.75. Winner on speed, BrahMos, and it's not even close. Range. Here the tables turn. The Tomahawk has a range of up to 2,500 kilometers in its latest Block 5 variants. It can reach targets across entire countries without the launch platform ever being in danger. The BrahMos has a range of approximately 290 to 500 kilometers for most variants, though export and new versions push toward 800 kilometers. Winner on range, Tomahawk, significantly. Warhead. The BrahMos carries a 200 to 300 kilogram conventional warhead, enough to devastate hardened targets, ships, and bunkers. The Tomahawk carries a 450 kilogram warhead, heavier payload, with options including submunitions and even a nuclear warhead in early variants. Winner on warhead, Tomahawk by weight, though BrahMos's kinetic energy at Mach 3 makes it devastating regardless. Guidance and accuracy. Both missiles use highly sophisticated guidance. The Tomahawk uses GPS, terrain contour matching, TERCOM, and digital scene matching, DSMAC, achieving accuracy within 5 to 10 meters of the target. BrahMos also uses inertial navigation, GPS, and active radar homing for terminal guidance. Similar accuracy in the final approach, with accuracy reportedly within 10 meters as well. Winner on accuracy. Essentially a tie, both are extremely precise. Size and launch platforms. The BrahMos is a larger, heavier missile, about 8.9 meters long and 3,000 kilograms. It's launched from ships, submarines, land-based vehicles, and now aircraft, including the Sukhoi Su-30 MKI. The Tomahawk is lighter and more compact at 6.25 meters and around 1,450 kilograms, making it easier to pack into submarine launch tubes and ship VLS systems in large numbers. Winner on versatility and volume, Tomahawk. Combat record. Specs on paper are one thing, but what about real-world performance? Tomahawk in combat. The Tomahawk has one of the most extensive combat records of any cruise missile in history. It was famously used in Operation Desert Storm in 1991. The world watched live on CNN as these missiles turned through Baghdad's streets. Since then, it's been used in Bosnia, Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, Syria, and Yemen. Over 2,000 Tomahawks have been fired in combat. It has guided missiles into specific windows of buildings. It has threaded canyons. It is the gold standard of precision strike. BrahMos in combat. The BrahMos has not been used in a major conventional war until recently. In May 2025, during Operation Sindoor, India reportedly used BrahMos missiles to strike terrorist infrastructure and Pakistani military installations. It was the first significant real-world test of BrahMos in a combat scenario, and reports indicate it performed with devastating effectiveness. BrahMos also represents a massive export success story. The Philippines, Vietnam, and other nations have purchased or expressed interest in the system, testament to confidence in its design. Combat record: Tomahawk leads on experience. BrahMos is the rising force. Survivability: can they be shot down? Here's a critical question. What happens when the enemy tries to shoot these missiles down? Tomahawk. The Tomahawk flies extremely low, sometimes just 30 to 50 meters above the ground. It uses terrain to mask itself from radar. This makes it very hard to detect early. However, it is subsonic, so a well-positioned air defense system with enough warning time can intercept it. Modern close-in weapon systems, CIWS, and advanced SAMs like the S-400 or Patriot have the theoretical capability to engage Tomahawks, though doing so in a real combat environment against multiple simultaneous launches is far harder. BrahMos. The BrahMos' defense against interception is its speed. At Mach 3, the flight time from launch to impact is drastically reduced, sometimes just minutes for medium-range strikes. An air defense system typically needs several seconds to detect, track, calculate, and fire an interceptor. That window almost disappears against a BrahMos. Additionally, BrahMos performs a steep terminal dive maneuver, making the final approach even harder to intercept. Survivability. BrahMos wins on raw physics. Speed is its armor. Strategic role and doctrine. These missiles aren't just weapons. They're strategic tools, and each fits a very different doctrine. Tomahawk. The long arm of American power. The United States uses the Tomahawk as the opening punch of almost every major military campaign. Before troops or jets go in, Tomahawks go first. They neutralize air defenses, command centers, and infrastructure, at minimal risk to American personnel. A submarine 2,000 kilometers away can reshape a battlefield. The latest Block 5 Tomahawk even has a two-way data link, meaning operators can retarget it mid-flight, or even abort the strike. It can loiter over a target area waiting for an opportune moment. BrahMos. The area denial weapon. India's doctrine uses BrahMos very differently. It's primarily an anti-ship and land attack weapon designed to create area denial, to make entire sea zones too dangerous for enemy navies. A carrier battle group facing a salvo of BrahMos missiles traveling at Mach 3 faces a near-impossible interception problem. On land, BrahMos-equipped regiments give India the ability to strike high-value Pakistani and Chinese targets deep within their territory, quickly before any escalation window closes. Doctrine comparison. Both are dominant within their strategic context. They are designed to win different kinds of wars. Head-to-head verdict. So, who wins? Let's tally it up. Speed. BrahMos has Mach 3 while Tomahawk has just Mach 0.75. Range. BrahMos has around 290 to 800 kilometers depending on variance. On the other hand, Tomahawk has massive 2,500 kilometers range. Warhead. BrahMos has kinetic devastation while Tomahawk has heavier payload. Accuracy. BrahMos has approximately 10 meters CEP while Tomahawk has similar approximately 5 to 10 meters CEP. Combat record. BrahMos has limited combat exposure while Tomahawk has extensive use over 40 years. Survivability. BrahMos. Speed equals armor, Tomahawk. Stealth equals defense. Versatility. Both are multi-platform systems. Retargeting. BrahMos. Fixed after launch, Tomahawk. Mid-flight retarget. Here's the honest answer. These missiles were not built to do the same job. If you need to reach a target 2,000 kilometers away with surgical precision, Tomahawk. If you need to destroy a warship or a fortified bunker before enemy defenses can even process the launch, BrahMos. Against a modern warship, BrahMos may be the most dangerous anti-ship weapon ever deployed. Against deep inland targets in a long-range campaign, Tomahawk is unmatched. The BrahMos and the Tomahawk represent two different answers to the question. How do you project power? One says, go fast, hit hard, don't give the enemy time to think. The other says, go far, go precise, win before the enemy even knows the fight has started. Both philosophies are valid. Both missiles are extraordinary achievements in engineering. And honestly, the world is a more complicated place because both of them exist. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button. Drop a comment telling me which missile you think is superior and why. I read every single one. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.